Hi guys, and welcome to the brand new session of the One and All Board series brought to you by the Alumni Relations Office of IIT. And I hope you can hear me clearly because I'm speaking quite loud here. And so today, the topic being about open source, we have expert here, actually a GitHub expert as well from out there in the industry. And you probably have seen him in the campus if you have been at IIT for at least for a while, because he's someone who's frequents at IIT a lot. And well, today, especially a bit about this program, the series we are conducting. The One and All Board is actually brought to you by the Alumni Relations Office with the use of the alumni that you have in the industry and out there in the corporates functioning right now who have already graduated. And so the purpose of this program is to bring you knowledge from different aspects in the IT sector and also in business sector, and whichever the sector that we think that you will find useful for your betterment of your career and your focus as a whole. So today, it being on open source, we have invited one of our recent graduates, and it's also an excellent and a brilliant graduate as well. His name is Dilum Disla, and you can already see him on the screen. And if I give a bit of an introduction about Dilum, Dilum is a software engineer at the Circle Life Singapore. He is also working with GitHub Education as a GitHub campus expert for Sri Lanka. Dilum is an open source enthusiast who was a Google Summer of Code student and a GCI mentor at the JBoss organization for several years. Dilum is also a tech speaker who has delivered his talks at local and national audiences. Furthermore, he's also a passionate volunteer who's an active member of a lot of tech communities and currently serves as the community lead of the Colombo Flutter community. So that's the expert we have brought to you today to speak about this massive subject of open source, because everything is becoming accessible, and this is one of the fundamentals that you have to have if you want to see an IT world which is also accessible to each and every one of you. So today, to speak about open source, Dilum, welcome on board.
Hi, Varna. Hi. Thank you very much. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay, all right. So yeah, thank you very much for the introduction. That was interesting, and and also how you connected the IT field with open source and the current situation in the globe, like everything is accessible. Yeah. Yes, that's actually one thing that why we should consider open source. And yes, and also I should like to thank IT Alumni Association for having me for this session. So yeah, let me share my screen so we can move ahead with the session. So hope you can see my screen, right? The slides.
Good.
All right. Yes. So what we're going to discuss today is like how to reshape your profile with open source. We know like open source has been a buzzword for several years, but most people like focus on open source when they're in university. But like I have to mention and I have to highlight that open source is not only for students. Like it like there are a lot of people benefiting from open source and being open source contributor in the professional, in the industry, as well as people who are handling startups and people who are like I think every level of tech industry and any business can benefit from open source, because at the end I'll tell you what I think, what's my definition of this keyword open source. So all of us think it's like it's just a keyword where we use when the code base is accessible to anyone or something like that, but it's not that what it means by that keyword. So yeah, a little bit about me, and I'm Dilum, and working as software engineer at Circle Life Singapore. And Varun already gave an introduction. Like I'm currently running the Colombo Flutter community with one of my colleague Avinath, and we actually co-founded it back in 2017 when we are completing our internships at Zone 24/7. And yes, I was a Google Summer of Code student and also a Google coding mentor for JBoss for a couple of years. Rather than all that, I would like to call myself as an open source contributor because that's what helped me to reshape my profile. So moving ahead, so what's reshaping? So is it like hitting to a gym and like burn some calories? And I know like all of you already know what did I mean by reshaping your profile. So it's like we every one of us, like whoever graduating from a university, like they can list the the degree certificate or the paper qualifications or like academic achievements in the CV, but uh, is it something that is it the thing that the industry is actually looking for at the moment? No, I would say no, because like if you consider any company at the moment in the tech industry, so they look for overall profile, not for a person who has just couple of degrees in the CV and couple of academic achievements. They'll also look how you have worked with teams and how you have contributed to the community, and what kind of value you have, what kind of value your profile holds from that aspect as well. So moving ahead, this student to professionals, like it's a journey, right? I know, like entering a university, completing the examinations, and getting a chance to uh, be eligible for a university course, and then completing that degree, going through that 1462 days, and completing it, and finally going through graduation, and then entering to the tech industry. So is that the place that you need to really think about your profile? I would say no. So if we have students in the what do you call audience, like here's a good point. You really have to focus about your profile when you join the what do you call university, or when you start at first year, the first day. So that's where you start your what do you call following your goals and following your dreams, and trying, like starting to reshape your profile. And if you're a professional already, like I would say still you have time, because like in the tech industry nothing goes old. Like the every month, every week, we are like we see a new tech coming up. So I would say it's not getting old. So yes, let me start with how it helps students. So I'll move to how it can how professionals can benefit from that, and as well as how any tech startups or any companies can like get most out of this open source keyword or the buzzword. So for student, my experience as a student starts from IIT back in 2016 in September. I joined IIT in 2016 September. As I remember, it was 17th of September. So from that, it was for me for like 1162 days, as in like 4 years, one internship at a high tech company called Zone 24/7, and then yeah, and also like my when I started back in 2016, like I had no idea, because I just jumped the university from biology stream, and this is a different stream for me. Like IT was like whole new like episode of my life. Then learning IT, and I didn't even know how to start, where to start, what should I pick, and what should I skip, all those stuff. So just attending lectures and all that. But also I got a chance, like IIT had a lot of different clubs. Then through the lecturers and through the orientation program, I was like kind of got an idea what this club is doing, what that club is doing. So likewise, so then after talking to seniors and a couple of my friends from senior batches, like I got a kind of a chance to like like jump into these clubs, and like actively participate in a lot of events, and likewise. So at that time, I got to know like this. There's something called open source, and I got to know from one of my very good friends, Isuru, from one another university. I also met Isuru through like taking part in these activities, club activities, events, likewise. So a very good step, and he's been able to travel to other countries and speak in conferences, likewise. So that was my initial motivation, then after I talking to Isuru, he was like, hey, cool, hey, look, like if you contribute to some of the open source organization project, like you get a chance to travel to conferences, and you get a chance to meet people, the tech guys, and lead architects, lead team leads, likewise, from well-renowned brands and projects. So I was thinking, like, if I have to sponsor myself, that's not going to happen, because I'm already paying for the degree, and it's really hard to go for a foreign trip and attend a conference and come back and managing those stuff. So then my motivation was look into some projects, and taking part in a lot of events and trying to learn technologies, and then contribute to the open source projects. Then so I would say, like, this question is answering what you need to do. Like, have you applied for it when you're a student? Like, yes, then try to become open source contributor, of course, because it helps you to achieve that dream, and it opens a lot more doors to your future, as in, like, so that's sort of a key to a lot of opportunities. So then yeah, as I told, it opens a lot of doors to like a lot of opportunities. Not only that, like this open source, the entire culture, like after you addicted it, like you get to know a lot of people from different countries. Like, let's say you are interested in mobile application development, like you get a chance to talk to people from like German, US, likewise. Like maybe you are taking part in a hackathon, your teammates from different countries. So it's a cool experience, and like they have their own way of seeing about this particular technology stream. Like if it is mobile development, like if you talk to them, maybe they have different practices, they have different styles of coding, so you can benefit from that as well. So not only that, like it really helps you to improve your coding skills. If you are a tech guy, then it helps you to take part in a lot of competitions, because when you are popular in open source, this whole ecosystem, I would say, like you get a lot of chances to take part in competitions. Then people invite you to team up and run for hackathons and all that. So these are a bunch of I would say very famous open source open source competitions. Like some of them were organized by Google directly, Google Coding for students, as well as Google Summer of Code again for students. But Hack19, Hacktoberfest, MLH, this is open for anyone from any age level. What they're targeting is Hack19 is mostly for Flutter development, and like this Hacktoberfest for this to encourage people more into open source in the month of October. Then MLH is a major hacking series which is happening around the globe, powered by GitHub sometimes, and powered by whole bunch of big brands. And there are, you can become MLH coach, and you can help people to like you can share your knowledge, and even after that you can this is kind of a I would say this is kind of a opportunity to apply for community management programs, and to become a community manager or a developer advocate at the end of the day. So it's not only for technical people. Like if you are really good at writing, so you have a lot of opportunities here in Major League Hacking, and also any other open source organization, because we have technical writing, we have presenting, and then we have coding for developers, likewise. So moving on, as I told, like it enables you to attend a lot of conferences. Like throughout my initial life, I think I have attended so many conferences, so many local events, couple of international events, and I have been invited as a tech speaker for like a lot of events, including Singapore, India, I would say some other countries as well, US. So because the thing that, like, why they invited me, because I started with open source, then My profile got highlighted by contributing to projects, and also by reaching to people. I was able to, like, expand my network circles, and I got a whole lot of new connections. So those connections helped me to, like, um, maintain my profile, and to reach out to a couple of grants organizers from the industry. Also, these are a couple of very famous, open source conferences. If you are open source developer, if you are a Go developer, go for GopherCon, which is happening in Brazil, Singapore, as well as in US. And then for Asia Tech Summit, I would say it's the largest tech summit happening in Asia. So it every year it's an annual summit happening in Singapore. Like almost every open source developer from Asia gathers to that event to speak about their software or their project or their practices. Likewise, so GitHub Universe, I would say GitHub is the heart of open source, or like code hosting. So that's where we host the code, and that's where a lot of people are encouraged to towards open source. So GitHub Universe is another one of the events, like people from all around the world, tech leads, like senior engineers gathering and discussing about what are the new things that GitHub is providing for them, and also what are the new tech trends. And also Flutter Interact event happening in US. So all these events have a track called free sponsorships. So if you are a recognizable person in the open source like ecosystem or the open source culture, like you can apply for a sponsorship, and they will sponsor for you for these events. I have received sponsorship for Asia Universe and also Flutter Interact. So I think from Sri Lanka, we, like, for Asia, there were participation in other years as well before me, but for Universe and Flutter Interact, we were able to get the like first few scholarships to Sri Lanka. So not only me, like from one of my colleagues who's working as co-lead of Kalam Flutter community, Avinath Gunasekar, he was also able to attend Flutter Interact with a sponsorship from Google to go and discuss about our community involvement in Sri Lanka. Then yes, also you can speak about your contributions. Let's say you have a project which you need to brand as a product. Then you go to a conference and talk about your project and what it does, what kind of a feature it offers. Well, so it's another opportunity. Like you get a huge audience. Like when you attend a conference, like 1,000 to 5,000 audience, like you can talk about your project, you can get suggestions, and you can improve, and maybe you can it's free branding for your product as well at the end of the day. Yes, so this is a picture we took some of the open source contributors from Sri Lanka. We received the opportunity to visit Google headquarters in Singapore. So this is a bunch of on my I would say on my left, we have a student who was the GCI finalist from Sri Lanka, and next one of the open source. All of these people are open source contributors from different organizations, but all of them are from Sri Lanka. And yes, moving on, I told like it helps to improve coding skills. And yes, these are a bunch of tools, and why I just put these logos, like all these tools are open source tools. Like we use these stuff in our day-to-day life as a developer, like GitHub for chat and Visual Studio Code, OMI and GitHub, also Docker. All these tools were developed by someone else, and they release the code base for the public use and to the open source world. That's why we are currently using it. So now you can see the impact of being a open source developer as well. So, and also it gives you a chance to network. So these are a bunch of images from my university life where I was able to meet top class Android developer. On your right, you can see Harshit Diwadi. He's one of the Google developer expert for Android. And on above, you can see my team from GitHub. And in the bottom picture, like you can see we took a picture with the lead and the main organizer of First Asia organization. So these were like bunch of cool gatherings, and I'm really proud to say like I was able to meet the people that I wanted to meet as a student, as in like I had a dream to meet this person, that person. So this being open source contributor and a developer allowed me to meet. It paves me a way to go and achieve that. And also one more good thing is like you can represent your country as an ambassador, because like when you are open source developer, and if you have a kind of a recognizable profile, like they will invite you to represent your country for the community. So you'll become ambassador with a whole bunch of other opportunities, like free sponsorships to travel, and sponsorship to like claim your expenses, and also not only that, organize many events and sponsor your local events. So it helps the younger generation, like the next generation, to really get a lot of benefits out from directly from those companies like Google, GitHub, likewise. Yes, if you're a student, and even though you are a professional, I would say check out these awesome ambassadorships. Like AWS itself has AWS Educate program, and it calls AWS Cloud Ambassador. And Google itself, if you are a expert, like if you, let's say you are good at Angular, and if you are really good at Angular, then you can apply for Google Developer Expert. It gives you a very good recognition, I would say. And also, it's if you are like a student who's really good at open source, and if you have a really good record of open source, I would say apply for GitHub Campus Expert program as well. And it will help you to like go to other events, and like meet other open source contributors from all around the world. Yes, as I mentioned, like also it helps you to highlight your profile, because why not? When you can list down a couple of events that you attend as a speaker, it looks good for your CV, and people are interested to see those kind of things, rather than like you already have the degree program when you graduate, right? So, and additionally, when you have these stuff, it add more, it attracts more people and recruiters. These are a bunch of people currently representing Sri Lanka as GitHub Campus experts from various different universities. And also, when you are open source developer, like you get free tools. When like GitHub Education is providing whole bunch of tools for free of charge. Like if you're just trying to buy this stuff, sometimes one license would be around like few $100, like 700 to 900 range. Then if you are a developer to do your pet projects, or do your freelance work, or else to start your startup idea, these are like these features will come in handy way. So you can claim free softwares and tools. Then yes, so since I it's like a very small period of time I have been dealing with the industry, because I graduated in 2020. I graduated recently, and I just wanted to hear from a couple of professionals who have been like in the industry for a while, so how they think about this open source and how it has been benefited their lives. So Sajitan Sinnathura is like a Google developer expert for Sri Lanka, and for Angular technology, and he's also a cloud solution architect at Microsoft. So you can see what's his message about open source like. And I would like to highlight this part, like it helped me on my path to becoming an expert, a particular technology which paid off in later to get into work for an MNC multinational company. So if we consider one more reply from Isru Abewardena, a software engineer at Hamlet Central. So he was saying, because of open source, I made 100 good connections. And also he's mentioning in his feedback, it's a golden key that helped me to open a lot of open doors to achieve, helped me to open a lot of new doors to achieve success in my career. So it clearly says that, right? It's not only helping you to successfully finish your degree program or to successfully graduate. Also, it helps you to like improve your how do we say your what do you call, career goals and career achievements. And also I just open a thread for this. Let me reshare. I think I have only shared one screen. I have opened a thread on Facebook to see who are the people actually would like to, talk about this. Varuna, can you see my Facebook wall, or is it only the lectures you can see? Lecture slides, session slides, I'll say.
Can you come
Anyone
again?
from the? Can you see this Facebook thread, or is it on? Like,
yeah, I can.
What's visible
the page,
to you?
the feed, right? Yeah, can see.
Yes, or yes. So also like I wanted to know like how it has helped people. So I before the event, before the session, I dropped a kind of I opened a thread on Facebook and tagged a couple of people from the industry. You can see like Ramesh is a lead engineer, senior engineer at 99X. He was also saying like he's also giving a good comment that he was able to connect with a lot of people and it helped him to really get started and like grow in his career ladder. And yes, moving on, then I wanted to talk like people think, that's why I told like people think this is only beneficial for like students, and now it's also you can also get benefits if you are professional. So then my next segment to cover is like how you can benefit from how your company can benefit from open source. So I would like to highlight few points like since you are part of this massive ecosystem, it's like free help from the community, because while you certainly need programmers to build your initial software, like once the code made public, you can rely on the wisdom of the crowd for debugging and improvements. So it's also a very good help, because like when you have the community, like different people have different ways of seeing at your code or the product, so they can give you suggestions. Not only that, it's a supporting act, I would say, because say you sell computer hardware and you have some hardware component, let's say IoT module. So like you think like selling this IoT module just like that, but if you can attach a open source operating system or some kind of software into that, then that will make more that will attract more people, right? Your product will it will be easy for you to like launch your product and get more attraction, rather than just going ahead as a just a hardware unit. And also like it helps you to easily hire good developers, because like people can come and say like I'm really good at this and that, but you have to like, why do we have interviews if we only believe on the CVs, like if we only select people out of curriculum vitae, that won't happen, right? You have to test their skills, because you are trying to build something, and you have to recruit someone who's having the passion to make the entire team successful. So I would say like finding developers is easy, but finding good developers, it takes little more effort. That's why everyday recruiters are reaching to you and having interviews here and there. But we are only, even though there are a lot of vacancies, we are only able to hire, like I would say, if we select 10 CVs, like we are only hiring like 5 to maybe 1 to 5, 2 to 5, something like that. So when a developer has proved that he has an open source profile, or when someone has proved that he has done something in the something in that industry, so it's easier for you to select and take your decision and hire him, because you clearly see what his contribution. Like let's say if you go to his GitHub profile, you can clearly see this person has contributed to this project, and he has he's pretty comfortable with this technology, that technology, likewise. And also not only that, it's like it's free branding, right? It's free publicity for any of your project. Like let's say if your company makes a piece of software like freely available to the public, like the chances are very high, like more users are going to see it and use it and share it at the, like, rather than just sharing it on using a paid advertisement. Because like nowadays the software has to be really good, or like at least gain real attraction. Otherwise, it won't, last for many years. So you can give a very good awareness about what is your tool, and I would say like you don't have to open source the entire tool or the framework, but you can have a open source component of it, which gives you students and also the industry a really good idea what this software is. Then with the community help and all that, you can get suggestions and all that. Then you can sell your like proprietary part of that software. So yes, these are some of the key points that you can gain as a company or like startup, because this open source is a culture and it's also an ecosystem, because taking part in a meeting a lot of new people and collaboratively working with them, and you have to have that passion, right? It's not a paid job. It's not also like it's not 8 to 8. It's not an 8 to 5 job. So it's your mindset, like I'm going to develop this and I'm going to contribute to that, because it's helping a lot of people. At the end of the day, you can proudly say I'm open source contributor. So I contributed to that, and now it's impacting a lot of people's lives, or a lot of companies. So a lot of people can't claim that credit. And also, like I would say, one of the best things as a open source, as a person who's in the open ecosystem, and who has contributed to and who has experienced this, I would say meeting a lot of new people and creating new friends from different countries, and getting to know a lot of people is the one of the best opportunities. Because let's say you want to start a startup, then someone to talk from this particular technology, that particular technology. So yes, I think I have given a kind of overview about how you can reshape your profile as in, if you are a student, your student profile; if you are a professional, your professional profile; and also if you are a company, and your company profile, of course. So yes, that was what I was planning to share with you all. So if you all have questions, I would like to discuss with you all and give my feedback and tell what I think about that part of your question. Parna, I think you might be having a lot of questions.
Yeah, well, it's like this, Dilum. Now, I mean, for a start, I'll actually ask you a question now.
Yeah,
for
sure.
someone, I mean, someone who wants to pursue a career in this, like I think a part of your work is also based on open source, working at this company, and also being a mentor.
Yes.
What's the future like for this? Because I also mentioned in the beginning, is the way to go forward when it comes to free sharing and sharing of knowledge,
Yes.
and then sharing of certain products when it comes to free access. So is that the same future you are also seeing in this, or is it different?
No. Open source has I would say now it's I haven't seen it in Sri Lankan like recruitment notes, but in most of the international event like companies, they have put it in their website itself. If you are an open source developer, you don't have to face the first interview and the second interview. So you go directly to the non-technical interview. So it has become that way. So it really gives you it really gives you the push. But in Sri Lanka, what happens is like they like if you are an open source developer, but still they haven't published it in the website. But if you let's say Linux Foundation, the people who build the Linux OS. So if you go to their site and just check, they have put it in words like we are hiring open source developers rather than just a developer. Yeah. So I would say like it will be there for like it will gradually improve, and it will come to Sri Lanka as well. So there will be a day like if you are not an open source developer, that's going to be a kind of a not good thing for your profile. That will eventually happen, I would say.
Right. So eventually you will have to have the knowledge as well.
Exactly, because we every one of us, like in the industry, we work as a team, right? You don't work as an individual. like wherever you work at IIT, you have a team. Wherever I work at Circles Life, I have a team. So open source, not only for to improve technical part of ourselves, but it also helps you to like, collaboratively work with people, and also people who have worked in open source, like mostly like, let's say I work for my Google Summer of Code with my mentor. I didn't physically meet him. So like, this was before Corona, the COVID pandemic happens. So nowadays, now I'm working remotely. So it's not a new experience for me. I have already worked like that. So I know how to manage things remotely. So I know how to, like without meeting a person physically, I know how to manage things likewise.
So how about the security side of it? Like, because I have heard, I'm not an expert on this, I'm just asking a question.
Yeah.
The security side of this, is it more prone for attacks or is it less prone?
Yes.
Is there a workaround?
Yes, I would say like there's a lot of, I'll give you an example, like, Google search algorithm. A part of Google search algorithm is open source. The simple answer I can give you, if it is not security wise good, why did they open source it? Let's say most of the Google research out there, let's say Google Brain Team is like doing the way higher researchers in the AI ML field, like artificial intelligence. So why do they open source their projects if it is not security wise, if it is not good? Because anyone can look at the code and like get into their data if we think so. Because like open source, even though we tell it as open source, we have certain set of rules and license. We call them open source license, where we have defined rules. Like if it is Apache 2.0 license, you have to it has certain set of rules, like you can modify this, but you can't sell it likewise. So there's this likewise there's this Apache and OpenMIT. Like there are a lot of certificates with different set of rules, so you can go through those stuff and every day. And there's another set of people who's trying to improve the security aspect, like in open source way also, like day-to-day releasing, different frameworks, different security updates, likewise.
Right.
Because I would say like I should highlight one more point, as in like security. When it comes to security, like let's say if we are dealing with your Facebook profile, if someone gets your credentials, that's your profile. Yeah. Let's say when we are working as a team, if some hacker is trying to breach our data set, it's a team, right? So open source is a community, because it's going to damage that entire collective effort of that all the like entire team. So I think there's more chances to survive than working individually. Right.
Okay. So a bit like big data, I guess. Sorry, blockchain.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, there's one question for you from Viraj on the chat. It says, can you explain what is the path to become a GitHub campus expert? Where we have to start?
Yes. All right. So Viraj, the first thing is like you need to start. First thing is you need to have a GitHub account. Then you need to start registering for GitHub Campus Expert program, and there's you have to go to GitHub Education, and there's this register as a GitHub Campus Expert. During the selection process, they will look into your GitHub profile, what kind of contributions you have, and whether have you done any sessions to your local community. So I would recommend, before you apply, go and do some sessions to your juniors. If you are in a university, or if you are in a company, do some sessions to your team, and have them recorded, or do. Nowadays we can't do physical meetups or anything like that. So I would say this is the best opportunity that you can get. Make this pandemic and this particular situation into opportunity, and host an online meetup. You just share a post and invite a couple of people and share your thoughts about a particular technology or a particular good practice or anything. Then I would say it will make a difference in your application, and you'll get a chance to get into the campus expert program. Then you have to complete a couple of modules, and there's an interview process. After that, they will announce you as ambassador for your particular country.
Right. So do you have any idea how many are applying at the moment? Like, at once, how many could be in the pool?
Yes, a lot of people are applying. As I would say, like not a lot from Sri Lanka. What Sri Lankans are doing, like they apply, they get selected. but they won't complete the modules. They in between they will give up that. So that's really sad. That's why we have only 6 people to represent Sri Lanka. But if you take a country like US or India or Singapore, we have hundreds of campus experts. That means every student like who passed as a campus expert, they are getting reimbursements, and they are getting travel sponsorships. So that's why I want to encourage a lot of people. If you are a student, go ahead and apply to these ambassadorships, because it's really going to help you to do more than you wanted to do during your university life. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's the answer. And there's another question. I think there are more coming in. So the next one will be, hey Dhulun, great content, and thanks for sharing with us. And could you please let us know how to get started to contribute to the open source projects? I mean, how to choose projects to contribute? That's a question.
Yes, it's easy. I would say like always try to follow your passion. Like when you join a university, you feel like when you are in the school, we know like if someone asks you what's your favorite subject, some points out mathematics, some points out Buddhism, likewise. So when you are in the tech industry, you know what's the language that you are mostly comfortable with. So find a project from that language. Don't try to think of brands. Like there can be projects open source by Google, and there can be projects open source by Microsoft, likewise. But if you are good at Flutter, I would say go and contribute to Flutter, because it will take some time to people to understand like you are a good contributor to this particular technology. But if you are, without giving up, if you are doing it regularly, one day you will make it. Like you will get every benefit that I discussed during the session. Yeah.
Right.
It takes some time, and you need to you need your side of commitment towards achieving all that.
Right. One more question from me. Now, if someone wants to learn open source, I mean, the languages or whatever,
Yes.
frameworks, is there free content available online, and can you refer something?
Yes. Let's say like you want to start with some open source. The first thing you have to do, you have to have a valid GitHub account. So you can create a GitHub account with your your student ID, student email. Then you get a chance to you get a lot of opportunities, like you get free repositories and all that. That's the first benefit that you are getting when you are entering to the open source community and all that. So GitHub is where we host almost every open source project. So then you can search for organization. I would say just let me show you what I have been a part of. So let's say you can go to this Force Asia, right? Then you can see, let's say now you have we need to know now we need to improve your Android skills. So as example, so you go to PS Lab Android project, and there's issues. So these are the current issues that they are facing. So that they are telling is that these issues are there. So if you can fix it, that's what we want, as in like. So this is a very good point to start, like going through the project and trying to fix this issue. When you're trying to fix this issue, only you can learn, I would say. Like if you are trying to download a course and if you are trying to follow it, I know it's impossible. We won't do that, because I have never done it. Like following a course is it's not practical, I would say. Like you need to have something to fix, then only you will automatically follow the content and you will learn out of it. Because like let's say when I have the final year project only, I learned artificial intelligence, but I was there for like 3 years at university. I didn't study deep learning or artificial intelligence. When I have that project to do, I learn all of that, and I was able to even put my projects for competitions like NBQSA. So it happened because I wanted to finish my project. Likewise, I would say select a very easy task issue and try to fix it. When you're trying to fix it, just Google. You can, like, if you don't know something, just Google. That's the best way. Don't just trying to go through courses and learn Android and come back and solve these things. It won't happen. Like it won't happen in that way, because in the industry also, like they are not asking you to. They only check for your basics. They don't ask you to like come with A to Z Java knowledge or A to Z Android knowledge. When you are doing a task only, you will search on Google. You will read articles. you will talk to people, you will open questions in open threads, open communication channels, and that's how you learn.
Right. Okay, so it's a learning process. At the same time, you have to be
Yes.
experiencing the entire environment at the same time. Then only you will like understand
Yes.
things practically how they apply. I suppose.
Exactly. And
Okay,
also you need to have patience.
Yes, most importantly, I think when it comes to the IT industry, you're supposed to have patience to like it should be something inbuilt, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, if you have any more questions, you have a bit more time left. Maybe we can give you another 1 minute or two. And until then, let me tell you about the series once again. So we bring this series every twice a month, so bi-monthly. And the program is brought to you by the Alumni Association and also Alumni Relations Office of IIT to bring you knowledge from far corners of the world where we have our alumni residing on different subjects. So we'll be also just giving you a blooper because not next week, maybe soon we'll be talking about interesting topics similarly like this, such as blockchain and things like that. So everything will be techie and also either business. So we'll be focusing on those. So we are waiting for more questions. If you don't have any questions, Dylan, do you think you could share some a way to contact for our guys?
Yes, sure. Like I can share my like email address. And one more thing, I have one more slide that I would like to always share.
Okay.
So read this as in like open source is not just reusing code. It's a mindset that always motivates you to help others and build something useful for majority. So that's the message from my end. Like after being open source contributor for like maybe 3 years, 4 years during my initial life, and even I'm still continuing. So because I have that mindset, like it's not directly giving me money, but in a way it helped me. In a lot of ways, it helped me to improve and like reshape my profile. So my email ID would be I forgot to. No, I have. If you want to contact me, there's the QR code. You can scan it.
Yeah.
You can save my entire profile as in like.
Okay.
Yes, dilundisilla.info@gmail.com. Yes. You just Google Dilund Disilla, it comes in the top, so you can easily reach to me on any.
All right.
So yeah, that's one more good. Yeah, yes, that's another benefit. Like when you have a lot of contributions towards projects, Google automatically lists you as the top on the Google search results for your name. That's
nice.
Yes.
Brilliant. All right, so I think we're done, and thank you so much, Dylan, for coming on board, and we appreciate your your time and effort that you have put for this. We had 52 registrations, so somehow there was a bit of a drop in participations, but it's fine. I think this this episode also went online it went on live on Facebook page as well. So if you want to rewatch it, you can definitely go to our Facebook page, IIT Alumni Association Facebook page, and you can watch it again if you want to rewatch and understand more. And you can write to him at dilumdisilva.info@gmail.com as well if you want to reach out. And also you can Google his name, definitely, that'll come up too. So Dilum, thank you so much once again for joining in.
Yeah, yes, give me a minute from my end as well. Like, thank you very much for having me and IIT Alumni Association for inviting me to have this session, and and also I should thank IIT Alumni Association for picking this topic and having a session, because it's going to if we can attract one person, that's enough. So he can make an impact on a lot of people. If he become an open source contributor, his contribution become more impact on a lot of people's life and a lot of people's day-to-day software that they use in their mobile phone or tablet. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, and thank you guys also for joining in. If you have a request, if you want some topics to be covered, please let us know. And the ways you received the messages and the invitation through via either Facebook or through emails. You can write back to us and request whatever the topic that you want us to cover, so we can do that for you as well. So we'll see you next in 2 weeks with more content on the Want to Know About webinar series. Until then, have a good day.